Hey, Tim Downs here, West USA Realty. This is your Litchfield Park real estate market update for March 2026. So let's talk sales volume. At the end of the month, it was 45 total homes sold in the Litchfield Park area, which was actually down from 55 from the previous month. So this is an 18% decrease. So something to bear in mind if you're going if you're looking to sell your house, that these houses aren't necessarily going to sell themselves as quickly as they have in the past. And if you're on the buyer side, it looks like you may have a little added flexibility when it comes to time frames. You won't have necessarily so many people lining up to buy that house. So now let's look into the pipeline of the houses that are pending. End of February, the number was 34. This actually represents a 15% decrease from the month prior, where it was around 40. So obviously, it looks like the activity is slowing down a little bit in the Litchfield Park area. So this number is actually up about 13% on the 90-day trend, but it's actually quite a bit significantly down from the end of January, where we had about 54. The year-over-year numbers, though, show about a 15% decrease from this time last year, where we were at about 40. So all in all, it looks like the activity is slowing down a little bit in comparison to last year. All right, so let's talk inventory. End of February, we had about 277 homes on the active inventory list for Litchfield Park. That number is actually up about 9% from the end of January, and it's up about 10% from the end of December. So active inventory is starting to increase a little bit for Litchfield Park. The year-to-year number is even more interesting. End of February 2025, we were at about 237. So in comparison to that 277 that we have, we're talking about a 17% increase year over year. More homes that are in the inventory. So obviously, if you're in the buyer's market, you have quite a bit more to select from as you did a year ago, adding a little bit more latitude as far as what kind of decision you want to make on the home that you want to put an offer in on. Let's look at absorption rate. At the end of February, we're about 5.21 months. This is up from 4.57 at the end of December. So that absorption rate, that inventory level, obviously it's starting to bump up. We saw that in the active inventory numbers, but a lot more houses coming into the market, providing a little bit more inventory and a lot more time that it would take to absorb all of that inventory. In real estate terms, 4 to 6 months is that balanced market range. So in this kind of a market, it really comes down to price and condition. Seller, buyer, nobody really has the advantage. All right, so let's talk about average days on market. At the end of February, we're at 135 days, which was up about 15%. At the end of January, which was 117 days. And that 90-day trend, end of December, it was about 120 days. So we're seeing about 15-day increase as far as average days on market. Obviously, about 2 weeks here. So not a massive shift, but it is something to bear in mind if you're looking to sell your house. Might sit on the market a little bit longer than it did a year ago. So let's talk about the market heartbeat for Litchfield Park. The most active price point is between the $400,000 and $500,000 price range. This represents 36% of all sales and 23% of all active inventory. So if your house falls within this price range, 36% of all sales fall within it. So you're likely going to see much of the averages bear out in your home. If it's outside of it, you might see even more fluctuating numbers. But something to bear in mind anytime that you're wanting to list your house of what is the most active segment. In this situation, Litchfield Park, 400 to 500 is the most active. Obviously, neighborhoods in Litchfield Park vary from street to street, maybe neighborhood to neighborhood. So if you want additional information about your specific area of Litchfield Park, please feel free to reach out to me. I can run specific reports. I can get data in front of you to give you just a little bit more information on your particular house and your particular area to help you just understand what the market looks like. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'm Tim Downs. My wife is Stephanie Downs. We represent the Downs Legacy team at West USA Realty. Please reach out to us anytime you want. We look forward to serving you. Thank you.